A few more of these opportunities. You see the steal. Drexler running down the floor. He's going to drop it off to Strickland, who lays the ball in the basket. Rod Strickland in this series in 3 games has had 32 assists and only 4 turnovers. Tonight, 1 assist, 3 turnovers. And again, Olajuwon 16, 11 rebounds on 8 of 14 shooting. He's been the man inside.
And we are set. Second half underway. Robinson is joined by Strickland, Drexler, Williams, and Dudley. And Clyde Drexler opens up the scoring with his 3rd field goal of the evening. Now the question is, Doug, Rick Adelman kept his team in an awful long time at halftime. You have to think you read him the riot act. How important is this first 5 minutes for them?
I think it's very important for them, and also for the Rockets. If the Rockets can come out and play well, they can discourage them. Otherwise, they can let them back into the game.
Shot clock at 4.
Get it up.
Shot clock at 1. Smith lets it fly. Doesn't get it. Right into the hands of Olajuwon. His 12th board.
So that'll just kill you. Now it gives another possession.
Look at Dudley leaning on Olajuwon.
Remember, single coverage now with Olajuwon and Dudley.
A lot of time. 10 on the shot clock. Olajuwon being just smothered by everyone, and Robert Horry buries the 3, not because of bad defense by Portland.
Well, that was terrific defense, and Horry just shooting the ball so well. He's now 6 for 11 from 3-point line.
He has gained so much confidence the second half of the year. The double team, Robinson. Drexler launches it from the arc with 5, buries it.
We'll see they've come out now. Drexler's giving them 5 quick points. They had 2 good defensive sequences, and Horry buries the 3 at the shot clock buzzer. If they continue to dig in, they'll get some misses.
Portland now 1 of 5 from the arc. Thorpe on Williams. The big right-handed hook by Otis Thorpe. 6 first-half points. He has 8 for the ball game.
Well, if you think of the great centers in the NBA this year, other than Shaquille, who really doesn't have a power forward with him, everyone's got a sidekick. Ewing and Oakley, Olajuwon and Otis Thorpe, Robinson and Rodman.
Dudley trying to keep it alive. Olajuwon takes it away from him. 15-point Houston lead. Horry slashing to the hole. Dudley tips it out.
Another second shot opportunity. Now you're going to go inside with a team, let him read the defense. If he gets the double, fine. If not, you shoot the spinning jump shot.
Nice job defensively by Dudley, putting the big body on him and crowding that right shoulder of Olajuwon as he spun. Rudy wanted the call.
Okay, I think it's important that Dudley has only 2 fouls. Rick Adelman rolls dice. They're down 15. But now he's got 4 fouls in the second half rather than having only 3.
Hakeem has missed 5 of his last 6 shots.
They won't guard Dudley.
It's almost like 4-on-5 on offense. Drexler swatted away by Robert Horry, his 3rd block of the ball game.
7 block shots now for the Houston Rockets. 8 for the Portland Trailblazers. Excuse me, 8 for the Blazers.
Thorpe working inside. Buck Williams showing some aggressiveness.
Well, they got to get to Drexler. He's at his last 2 shots. He's going to be looking to be offensive-minded.
We saw him get hot in game 1 of this series.
Somebody's got to make an outside shot right now. No one out there is going to look to shoot the outside shot, but everybody's wanting to drive.
Strickland does. The bounce, the drop. Rod Strickland with 8.
Right back to 13, Ron. Almost 9 minutes to go, so still plenty of time.
4th season, 4 starters for Houston have been together. This is the year they think they can do it. Olajuwon, Dudley again, the body on him.
Notice how he's pushing him away. 2 fadeaway shots. The team had something going to the basket in the first half. With Dudley, he's pushing him out. 1 step outside his range, making him shoot. Very difficult shot.
Drexler for 3. That is a rainbow. Won't go down. Thorpe lost it, regains it. And then Dudley forces the jump ball. What hustle by Chris Dudley, the 7th-year pro out of Yale.
Now watch Dudley. He's going to push the team away from the basket. Look at his shot. He's shooting a fadeaway. Never got really good lift. He got up under his legs.
Dudley, the 4th round pick back in '87 by Cleveland. 75th pick overall in that year. Has 2 screws replaced in his ankle back on February the 16th. They helped the healing process of the fractured ankle that he did on November the 9th of '93. 13-point Rocket advantage inside of 8 minutes. Nice steal, Drexler. Ori reached out, grabbed Drexler, wouldn't let him go for the basketball.
I like the way Portland's come out defensively. They've really done a nice job. Houston now out of sync. Got to move the basketball. Robert Ori had a man open. He tried to take it off the dribble, make the extra pass. That's what got them the lead.
An NBA game is a game of runs, peaks and valleys. Portland needs to string something together now.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Here comes Drexler again. He's got the hot hand.
Oh, he's getting in the zone. 7 in the quarter for Drexler, 15 for the ball game.
11-point game, and those perimeter shots are starting to drop now.
Olajuwon, no place to go. Closest since it was 18-7. He traveled. We're going the other way.
Drexler coming off a staggered double screen. No one shows up. Thorpe late getting there. Got to chase Drexler off that shot once he starts feeling it. Go right back to him here, Ron, on the screen roll. Let's see if Olajuwon will show up on it.
The pick by Williams. Nobody bought it. Drexler loose. We have a whistle and a foul on Vernon Maxwell. His first. This is the second time these two teams have met in the playoffs. Back in 1987, the Rockets beat the Blazers 3-1. They have a chance to repeat history tonight.
Got a wet spot here on the floor. They got to go over and do a little housekeeping. Mike Mathis, pretty good supervisor there, cleaning that floor, isn't he? We got to get him a mop and do that a little bit. I don't think that's in their union.
No, it's not my job. Not my job.
He told me he finally recovered from that Golden State game tonight. He and Billy Oates both refereed that game. He said he got some oxygen for about 2 days.
And they stayed up with the players from the outside. No good. Dudley had a shot at it, couldn't get it. Buck Williams feeling his Oates way outside of his usual range. Cross it over to Ori. He'll let it fly from 3. Drexler tips it to himself. Gives it up to Strickland. To the hole. What is he doing with that?
No place to go. He's getting hung up in the air.
This isn't the playground in Brooklyn.
It's 4 turnovers now for Rod Strickland. But Thorpe got away with a push-off.
And he didn't get it. Dudley takes it away.
How did he miss that one?
How did he miss that? With those big hands right underneath.
That's a big miss, too. That would have pushed it back up to 13.
Oh, yeah.
The Blazers can get it under double digits. I can't remember the last time it was in singles.
Early in the first quarter. Drexler from 3, the line drive, hits the back of the iron. Had no arc on that ball.
See, Klein will have a tendency now to get a little bit tired. He does not have the stamina and lift that he once had, so he's got to be real careful not to shoot him out.
20-second timeout, Doug, but still what Portland has done is come out. They've got the crowd back into it. They're calling it a full timeout now, and they've cut the lead down to 11. You'll love this game. 56-45 with 6:02 left in the third quarter. And let's take a look back at the first 3 playoff games. In 1 and 2, good defense, great shooting. As the Rockets jumped off to a 2-0 lead. Olajuwon 72-12 in game 2, but the Blazers came back to Portland to win game 3 as they had only 6 turnovers, and for the first time in 7 meetings between these two teams, shot plus 50% against the Rockets.
Well, it's amazing the fact that the Blazers are shooting only 27% in this game, that they're down by only 11. The Rockets, after getting off to a great first quarter at 57%, shooting only 33% since then, so they're now down to 43% for the game.
The Rockets on offense.
They're trying to get some movement now. Popping Hakeem out to the jump shot. That was a great executed play.
Right back out. Maxwell toes the line, and he makes them pay with the 3.
Now, what's happened? 2 offensive rebounds in this quarter have led to what? 2 3-point shots.
And the Rockets are the worst offensive rebounding team in the NBA.
Long shots, long rebounds. Your guards got to get back and rebound. They can't leak out.
Blazers looking to run inside. Buck Williams, a big-time slam. We have a foul.
Now, see, that time Drexler curled. Instead of falling in love with the jump shot, he curled off the screen and forced the defender to step up. Now, watch Drexler curl. He'd been falling in love with the jumper. He curls, and here comes Hakeem to help out. When he comes over now, Buck Williams gets the ball. He dunks it. 3-point play opportunity. and he gets it. Now it's once again an 11-point game.
Rick Adelman said Buck Williams gets up for the big games. He said he'd had no problem with him tonight. He was worried about the other members of the team. Olajuwon has it tipped away. Another nice defensive job. Dudley. Drexler all the way to Clyde. Can't get it to drop.
3 years ago, Clyde dunked that one.
That's right. Maxwell looked at it. Has to give it up. Good defensive recovery by the Blazers.
Look at his spacing on the floor, though. This time they're going to go inside. Look like the Thor. Ori again for 3.
And he nails it.
That's a cold-blooded shot.
His second 3 of the ball game. Rick Adelman after game 1 said those are daggers in our heart. They just deflate you so much emotionally.
Well, on the year, they have 172 more made three-pointers than their opponents. They set a record with 429 made and with 1,285 attempted. 172 more threes than their opponent.
They had 15 more coming into tonight's game than the Blazers, which is 45 points. That's a lot of points extra.
Well, this is no accident, the way they space the floor and they look to shoot the 3. Now, it takes away from some of their offensive rebounding, but they get good floor balance. Teams don't run out against them, and it takes advantage of the spacing in the post for Olajuwon and for Otis Thorpe.
Foul is on Drexler as we take a look at tonight's Chevrolet scoreboard. In a moment. Olajuwon fakes left, goes right, drains it over Dudley. His first field goal of the second half.
I was going to say, he hasn't hit a jumper in a while. He's missed 8 of his last 9.
51 Houston opponents have failed to crack the century mark. They're 45 and 6 in those games. Drexler forcing the action. Bodies go down, a whistle and a foul.
See if you give him 2. I think this was a pass off. I don't think he should be getting 2 shots on this play. See what they get. Sideline out of bounds. That's a good call because Clyde was trying to pass the basketball.
Well, Ron Garrison quickly went over to Billy Oakes to let him know that he thought it was a pass. Rick Adelman doesn't like it. It's the 3rd foul, by the way, on Otis Thorpe. There you see our score, 64-48. Blazers have gotten as close as 11 after trailing by 15 in intermission.
3 threes, though, by the Rockets in this quarter have really kept the Blazers at bay.
Strickland, no penetration tonight.
Everything's a jump shot. Very risky.
The lead is down to 14.
Rod Strickland worked all summer on his jumper, but still that's not what he'd like to do. He's 4 for 11 on the game, but he'd love to get inside and penetrate.
Ori again from the outside. This time doesn't get it. Drexler will track down the loose rock. Buck Williams laying on the ground. He was knocked down, wanted a foul. Robinson sets the pick. Strickland goes the other way. He's hammered. Well, Portland trying to force some action as Kenny Smith picks up his second.
They're going to be over the limit now, the Rockets are, so Strickland will shoot 2 free throws. So Portland is hanging in there. I mean, if he can get these 2 free throws, we're looking at a 12-point game, so it's still there for them. Their effort has been very good. Ron, I don't think you can question their character. I think what you have to do right now is make sure they use good judgment. You know, they're getting themselves back into the game.
Rod Strickland, ever since a very lackadaisical effort in game 1, really has turned it on in the last 2 games with 26 and 22 points respectively.
They're going to give Maxwell a technical. And you know what? That's a good call. He walked by Strickland and bumped him shooting the free throw. That's how things get started. That's an excellent call by the officials. I've seen the taunting act this year, and Maxwell has got to not lose his cool.
Well, we saw it with Alonzo Mourning in one of the final games of the year against the Chicago Bulls back in April.
Watch it right here. Now watch, he walks back and bumps him with his shoulder. Right here. Watch it. You're going to see it right there. And he says something to him. He said, well, that's just a bump. No, that's not a bump. That's a message. Okay, and you got to call that.
Now, Drexler made the technical foul. Strickland with the other free throw. And now Maxwell giving Mike Mathis the look. He better be careful.
See, the Rockets got to understand, this could be Portland's last game. They're not going to go down easy, okay? This is still a team with a lot of pride. So it's an 11-point game once again.
And he caused them 3 points. Now the crowd back into it.
Space the floor. Elijah wants to work one-on-one against Dudley. Someone's getting help.
Robinson cut him off. Got away with the travel. Here comes Smith. Pulls the trigger, and Houston buys another break.
Keem got away with one there. He changed his pivot foot on the pass.
The lead is 13.
Right now, Houston continues to come up with a big shot when they need it.
Drexler pushes off on Ori. The line drive finds the net. Maxwell wanted the offensive foul, and I think he may have had a beat.
Well, I guess they got away with a walk, so they got away with an offensive foul. It's a bad pass.
Here comes Drexler. He's got Maxwell on the beat, and that is a goaltending by Robert Ori. The lead is 9, Doug.
Last time it was 9, 16-7.
They are standing in the Coliseum.
And you got to give Chris Dudley a lot of credit. He's doing a wonderful job on Elijah Watt.
And he still hasn't picked up his third foul. Buck Williams clears the rebound.
Missed 9 of his last 10 shots.
To Strickland. Robinson took a couple of dribbles. No. Kept alive. Strickland has it stripped.
Oh, my goodness. Looked like he had a layup, and Maxwell knocked it away at the last moment.
Quick hands by Vernon Maxwell.
Looks like Olajuwon's getting a little winded here. Dudley's made him work very, very hard in this quarter.
That's exactly what the Blazers wanted.
So remember we talked about wearing him down? Let's see if it will take its toll. Now he's got Buck Williams playing him. Buck cannot bother his shot.
Robinson comes over to help. Williams with another rebound as Ori goes far to the floor, and we have a foul. We've got a foul on Otis Thorpe. That is his 4th personal foul. We have a timeout. The Blazers are on the run. They are rocking and rolling at the Coliseum in Portland, and I tell you what, we cannot say enough of the job that Chris Dudley has done on Akeem Olajuwon.
Ron, in the first 18 minutes, we see 7 for 9. Now, remember, Dudley only played 6 of those minutes. He got in foul trouble. Since that point in time, 2 for 12. They don't have to double-team the post. And you take away those killer threes off offensive rebounds, and we're looking at about a 1 or 2 possession game right now. Rudy T cannot like the feel of this. Be interesting to see if Rick Adelman has a feel on that bench right now with his team, if they have a purpose to put this game to game 5. Now, Houston must fight this urge. If Portland continues to make this surge of saying, you know what, we still have game 5 in our own building. No, you don't. You got to win tonight. You don't want to give them that opportunity. Anything can happen.
That's dangerous. Dudley only shot 4 free throws during the regular season, made 2. And these are his first 2 this evening. During the playoffs. This
is why he can't play in a close game at the end. So if this game gets close, Rick Adelman has to get him out. Offensive defense substitutions because of his poor free throw shooting.
He has quite a hitch in it, but he does make the second. And Portland has closed the gap to 8. Remember, the Blazers started 2 for 21 from the floor.
This crowd was totally out of the game. Now listen to it. You can't even hear it here.
They were booing in the first half. Now Robinson on Olajuwon. Smith, the pull-up jumper. No, the putback Robert Ori as nobody put a body on him.
How was he so wide open? I mean, there was no one even within the area code.
Well, Dudley and Drexler were close, but they were closer to Eugene than they were Ori. Strickland, oh my, almost pulled it off. Dudley keeps it alive.
He doesn't want to shoot.
And he does, and it goes.
Oh, that's a bonus right there. Chris Dudley scored the last 3 points.
Herrera has come into the lineup for Otis Thorpe, who's playing with 4 personal fouls.
Chris Dudley's only scored 14 points the whole year.
Shot clock at 7.
The shot was there for Ori. He passed it up. They're going to take a tough one now or not get one at all.
Job Strickland with the steal. Olajuwon having trouble getting over. He's very winded right now.
Good court awareness here by Strickland. Last shot, you want to penetrate, See if you can get the last field goal of the quarter.
He pulls up from 16. Only 17 points scored by Houston in this
Gotta
quarter.
shoot it. Gotta shoot it.
And Maxwell at the buzzer. It won't go. Houston only scores 17 points.
Hakeem didn't know the clock. He got the ball, did not know the clock.
Unbelievable. 12 for Drexler in the quarter. The 15-point halftime lead is now 6. This is what the NBA playoffs are all about. The Rockets, who led by 15 at halftime, now only lead by 6. It's a case of Hakeem almost being shut out, and finally the Blazer backcourt coming alive.
Hakeem has missed 10 of his last 12 shots. He only had 2 points in that quarter. Strickland and Drexler, 3 for 13 in the first half for 14 points in that quarter, 8 for 13 for 20 points. Portland 26 to 17. The Rockets now shooting 43%, Portland up to 32, but the free throw disparity, Portland 17 for 21, only 5 of 7, so plus 12 at the free throw line for Portland. Houston has got to regroup now, and Portland now has got to feel the adrenaline rush. Remember now, Dudley's got 4 fouls to waste in this quarter, which is going to be important.
He went that whole quarter without giving up a foul. Cassell will start the second and fourth quarter with Herrera, Maxwell, and Olajuwon. Drexler.
They're going to keep going inside, so he has to cut.
Oh, Dudley just made him completely change his shot.
See, now the interesting thing, Hakeem's got to play defense on one end. Dudley doesn't play offense, so he can rest down on this end of the floor. All he has to do is offensive rebound.
The big rebound, Robinson, the putback, the tip. Again, Drexler keeps it alive. No, it'll be a push on Vernon Maxwell.
The battle always goes to the aggressor, and right now the aggressor is Portland. Remember I said it's amazing they were shooting 27% and they were still in the game. And that's where you don't put a team away, and I think that Houston has gone to Hakeem. He's missed 11 of his last 13. They've got to start moving the ball.
Robinson has it slapped away. Cassell has Maxwell and Thorpe. Thorpe almost missed the layup.
That was close.
Thorpe checked in. Herrera comes out, and Otis with 4 personal fouls comes up with his 10th point of the game. But off the front of the iron, Horry was being held by Dudley. He could not get free.
See, now Sam Cassell is into the game. The rookie point guard, I had him in the rookie all-star game. I really like his game, and he's a guy that has a lot of composure for a young player. He'll look to make big plays. Yeah, I think this is smart. Get Thorpe into the game. Let Hakeem take a little bit of a rest.
Now Thorpe working the left block on Williams. Good defense by Buck Williams.
Notice no offensive rebounding. Houston last in the NBA.
Drexler, last touch. Did Houston touch it? Yes, they did. It looked like it was deflected.
The character is there for Portland, Ron. I don't think we can question that. Now it's got to be the execution. They've gotten themselves back into the game. They can't get too excited. You can be excited on defense. You can't on offense. You've got to be patient.
And that is something that's been their downfall. From the outside, Strickland, count the basket.
No basket. Uh-oh, offensive foul. What a big turnaround that is. What a big turnaround. Instead of a 6-point game, now Houston's got a chance to push it back to double digits to 10.
That was a foul on Strickland.
There's the push-off with the right arm. That's a good call.
Mike Mathis right on top of it. Cassell.
I told you. The kid has got heart. I like him. That was a big-time shot. 3-point play opportunity. He gets a defensive play on the other end. I wouldn't be surprised for him to play the whole fourth quarter. Nice shot by Cassell.
Now Cassell's play in the fourth quarter has taken Scott Brooks out of Houston's rotation completely.
Well, Cassell gives them more size, and he's a better shooter. And Scott Brooks, they know what they're going to get from him, but Cassell's going to be able to be a big-time player. I like that pick by them in the draft.
Strickland. Penetration inside. Buck with the fake. Puts up the 2. But the lead is still 9 at 73-64.
See, I think you let Hakeem take a little bit of a rest here. I don't mean you take him out of the game. Get him out of the play. Let this two-man game go on. Let Hakeem get a little bit of a rest.
Cassell, baseline, no place to go. Has to hit it off Dudley's leg, and we have a timeout. We'll take a break, catch our breath. 9:45 left to be played. Rockets still lead. Here's tonight's Dutch boy in the paint, and that really tells the story, Doug.
Well, look at this. Olajuwon by quarter. Remember we talked about they hope to wear him down. Look at this. 10, 6, 2, and this 0 right here. Now, we talk also about his shot blocking. 7 for the Rockets, 8 for the Blazers. In Game 1, 6. In Game 2, 6. In Game 3, only 1. Tonight, only 1.
He is working extremely hard on the offensive end.
Well, look at Dudley. He's got his body on him. He's banging him. And watch what he makes him do. Hakeem is worried about Dudley being able to block his shot. See, he gets his hand up, and he forced him to take a very, very difficult shot. So, with the presence of Dudley and what he's done in this game, he's gotten Portland back in the game with his defense. Olajuwon going to take a rest. I think this is very smart by Rudy.
Oh, yeah.
He was really lathered up and laboring, and maybe you give him a couple minutes rest. And the importance of the Rockets is they've got to be able to hold serve here or keep it right where they are so that Olajuwon can rest. And now Portland's got to make their move.
He's played all but 1 minute tonight. He's averaging 42 minutes a game. Herrera, Robinson lost him. Robinson turned his back on Carl Herrera and couldn't find him.
Boy, as a coach, you love that because you draw a play up, you get your team a basket, you go back up 11. That's a big hoop.
Drexler kicks it back out. Strickland from about 19, short. Inside, Kersey's checked in. Can't get it to go. We got a bug loose, still loose.
Got to get on the floor. You can't reach for it. You get down on the floor. It's playoff time.
And Sam Cassell is going to be whistling for the foul. Exactly right, Doug. It's like trying to pick up a fumble and run on it. You got to grab it.
Get down on it.
Sam has 3. And that is only the second team foul on the Rockets.
They've got so many boards around here. I'm looking for team fouls
either.
They got more advertising here on boards than I've seen around the world.
It takes you years to buy all these products that are being advertised here tonight.
Building new arenas and everything cut down from his advertising. More seats, less advertising.
Drexler, difficult shot. Robinson got away with a push. Can't get the putback. Bryant better get it.
You know what?
I thought his last touch by the Blazers.
You don't give the referee a chance to make that call. You grab the ball.
I mean, I thought you got to grab because he had a chance at it. It wasn't like he was diving in the stand. Now we've got some leaning, pushing, and shoving. Drexler, Maxwell, Robinson. Now Drexler pushes Maxwell.
See, Maxwell's got to be careful. Double technical. He's out of here. He's already got one for bumping Strickland at the foul line. Now, see, he better get away from it.
Well,
you got to be smart and get away from it. Now, see, here's Rudy teasing. He knows Maxwell's going to get him out of the game.
That's right, because Mario Ellie is up.
You see, Maxwell will be upset that he's coming out of the game. See Drexler push him. He's got to just move away from it.
Clyde is really into this game right now. Mathis calls the foul.
You know, Maxwell, just go sit down. You know, don't say anything else because you'll incite this crowd.
That is his third. Maxwell is called for it. But they're taking Orion and going Ellie. So right now, Houston going with a small lineup.
They got Cassell, Maxwell, and Ellie on the perimeter. Here's Maxwell. Gets a little push from Drexler. You got to be smart, Maxwell, and you got to walk away from it. Check your manhood at the door right now. Worry about it later.
Off the head. That's exactly right. Off the head of a Houston Rocket. The Blazers have it with 16 on the shot clock. Whatever Rick Adelman said to this team at halftime, Joe, we got to bottle that bad boy.
I'm sure what he said is, you know what, guys? There's about 13,000 people sitting outside, and people around the world are watching to see what kind of character you have.
Inside. Can't get it to go. And without Olajuwon in the lineup, the Blazers have got to take advantage of this opportunity.
Watch Cassell, he'll shoot it now. I'm telling you, he's cold-blooded.
And that is a 3.
I like him.
Nice play by the rookie out of Florida State, who was the 24th pick in last year's draft. To the Rockets, 6 of 15 from the arc.
They've taken the air right now out of Portland. They've gotten right back into the game.
Drexler, oh my! Good play by Drexler, recovering after Strickland just threw up the prayer. But the lead is 12 with 8:13 left.
Strickland's got to defend against Cassell. Now he's got 6 points here, and they're going right back to that screen roll. He's going to take it right to the hoop.
Doesn't get it. He wanted the foul. The rookie doesn't get the call, and he probably won't.
He's going to be careful. He's going to get a technical. Mike Mathis will tee him up here once the play stops. He's not careful.
Strickland with the penetration. 16 for Strickland. The lead is 10, and Olajuwon up off Houston's bench. He'll check in.
Sam Cassell's got a beat. He got fouled on that play.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to play on. It's all been a rookie. Can't worry about it now.
They leave Herrera open. He kicks it on top to Ellie. That's for 3.
Thanks.
They tip it out right back to Ellie.
Now it's not over and back. That's a rebound. It's okay. It's a shot. You can bang it out there. No one touched it until it got in the backcourt. Now, had you touched it in the front and gone backcourt, it was in violation.
Cassell working. Ellie, shot clock at 10. Uncontested Mario Ellie.
See, Cassell got in the lane, penetrated, kicked out, and then driving. We've seen Ellie do that twice. Once he's dropped it off, once he's got the layup. That's why you get a veteran player to come off the bench to give you those kind of minutes.
18 points between Ellie and Cassell off the bench. The lead back to a dozen. 80-68 our score with 7:05 left to be played in the ball game. Houston trying to advance to round 2. And speaking of round 2, the NBA playoffs on TNT will continue next week. And it all depends on what happens in the next couple of days when our games will be out. But please check your local listings, because we are all heading back to the airport come Sunday and Monday. And we'll bring you all the action on Playoff Central TNT. Well, one thing about the Houston Rockets, they are an incredible defensive team, Doug, and that allows them to win a lot of ball games when teams shoot under 40%, when teams don't score under 100, don't score 100, and they're showing it tonight.
Look at the team now Portland has on the floor. Kersey, offensive rebounder, will score on the break. Dudley will not score. Mark Bryant will not score much. You've got Strickland and you've got Drexler. They have combined for 24 to 32 points this half. So those are the 2 guys who are going to have to score this lineup on the floor. That's who I was focusing on if I'm Houston.
Olajuwon's back in. Bryant has it stripped by Cassell. Cassell throwing elbows around. He's rookie punch.
He's thrown out.
Oh my! Not only for tonight, but he is going to be tossed for the next game. Unbelievable!
You got to get him out of here now.
If that was a punch, and it looked like it was, Sam's going to be in street clothes.
Fist was together. I mean, it wasn't an open hand. That's a swing. How technical that might be, but they can't allow these things to happen. That's where you've got to maintain your cool.
Now they're deciding what's going on. Is Mike Mathis, Bill Oakes, Ryan Garrison talking about it, but now Olajuwon gets in on the discussion. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see if it was a punch.
All right, now watch. He's trying to get it loose. Oh, and he sort of hits it. You see, hits him in the chest. Yeah. They're trying to talk it out here. Let's see what happens.
That's going to be very interesting if Rod Thorne deems that a punch, or if it was just trying to push him away, but it looks like he swung.
Well, if that's the case, if the Rockets were able to win this game, then he'd be suspended probably for the first game.
Let's listen in. Cassell is gone.
Jerome Kersey, technical foul and ejection, Sam Cassell.
Cassell was having a spectacular half, and the rookie just learned a very valuable lesson. He is going to be a great player.
Yeah,
but he learned a lesson.
You can't lose your cool. Remember, I talked about Maxwell before. Now, the important thing is he goes to the locker room because the league will watch the way he leaves the floor. If you don't leave it the right way, you'll get fined more. So you got to walk off the floor. You got to channel those emotions in the right way. And you know the league is going to be cracking down on Ron. I did the Atlanta-Miami game when it got ugly, when they let it slip away from them. And once these guys get irritated and agitated, it's the 4th game of this series.
Cassell leads with 9.6 in the 4th quarter. Drexler shooting the technical foul. That foul, by the way, on the play was on Jerome Kersey.
Now watch Cassell. He gets the strip, and now he's going to get hacked. There's no question he gets fouled. Right there. And then he throws his hand out. Now, it was a weak punch, but still it's a punch. He hits Kersey in the shoulder with it. Watch right here. Watch his left shoulder. Boom, right there.
Well, it's going to be interesting the next 24 hours between now and whenever Houston plays again, be it Sunday against the Portland Trailblazers or meeting the Phoenix Suns in round 2.
I think Kenny Smith's got to come in there now and give them good play. It's an 11-point game, still plenty of time, 6:44.
And he has not played a lot of the fourth quarters. Brooks played the fourth early on in the season. Then Cassell took over. We have our first turnover since Cassell left. Strickland shaking and baking, short on the jump shot, Maxwell.
See, I love Rod Strickland. I think he's played well. I just don't think that's a good shot at that time. That's a floater on the move. He's 6 for 16. No one touched the ball in that sequence except him.
Too quick. No patience. The lead is 11.
So Kenny Smith now has got to give him some good play here. He had one turnover. Olajuwon got a little bit of a rest, and he comes in, he hits a shot. Isn't it amazing what happens when your legs get a little tired? I don't care how good you are. When your legs get tired, your shot goes.
When you look at Olajuwon, he's soaking wet. It's extremely hot in the building. That's only his second field goal in the second half. He has 20 for the game, and he's yet to visit the free throw line. Drexler
he got
for
fouled.
3, almost a 4-point play.
Houston foul on Mario Ellie. His first.
Ellie picks up the first. Here's Olajuwon.
Clifford Robinson.
Got a little space between he and Dudley, went up and took the jump shot. Still not an easy shot. But the fadeaway goes for Hakeem, gives his team a 13-point lead. Now the clock starting to become their ally, but they're going to have to continue to attack. Again, be smart. You don't want to turn the ball over. You want to make sure you get a good shot every time down the floor.
There's also 14 fouls now on the Rockets. Drexler a perfect 7 for 7 from the stripe. He has 24 points in the ball game. There you see the first 3 games. Game 1 a monster game.
Portland only has one timeout, Ron, and in 20 they've had to use a lot of timeouts to try to stem the flow of this Houston team tonight. So good clock management is going to be very important. The strategic use of that last timeout in your 20.
Olajuwon, Robinson comes out to greet him. Almost tossed it away. Shot clock at 10. Corner on Ellie. Smith finds an opening. The running right-hander won't go. Dudley tips it. Goes right into the hands of Maxwell.
Remember, this is the worst offensive rebounding team in the NBA, Houston.
The switch, Smith. Robinson has to find somebody to guard. They almost did it again. Ellie to the hole. Robinson got a piece of it. Here comes Porter. It's a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Strickland to the hole. Oh, an acrobatic shot.
You know, that's okay. Rod Strickland got it to the basket, almost got fouled on the play. Once again, it's a 9-point game. Boy, Sam Cassell's projections have loomed really large here in the last 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Illegal defense. That's the first of the ball game.
First violation. Warning.
Porter to Drexler. You get the ball in the middle of the floor. That way you have options, either right or left wing. He dishes off to Strickland. He gets the driving layup. The first defense, or first illegal defense. It'll be a new shot clock. The next one will be a technical and free throw.
Will Portland be eliminated in the first round for the second year in a row? They have 4 minutes and 43 seconds to change that.
See, they strung out the screen roll. Now they have a mismatch. Drexler and Thorpe. Somebody's going to be open.
Ellie inside. Drexler tied him up. They're going to jump ball. Clyde Drexler, the quick hands. Rudy Tomjanovich sprinted from one end of the bench to the other. Could not believe the call.
Now, Rudy didn't move that quick when he played. I played against him. He was a spot-up shooter. That's more quickness. You're supposed to lose that with age.
I can't believe he's kept his jacket on the whole time.
So here's another rule I'd like to see changed. On that jump ball, you don't get a new shot clock unless the other team gets the ball. They get new 24 now, so Portland gets penalized for playing very good defense.
Olajuwon, Dudley gets a piece of him. The shot won't go, but Chris Dudley picks up only his 3rd personal foul. 2 of those came in the first 6 minutes of the ball game.
You know what I mean, Ron? When Ellie drove, the clock was working against him. It was probably 4 or 5 on the shot clock, and then on the jump ball, they get a new shot clock. Here's where Rudy was upset. Let's see if it's a good call. I guess the elbow is part of the ball.
Close enough. Close enough. Olajuwon 1 of 2 from the line. He'll have another. 22 points to go along with 14 rebounds and a block for Hakeem Olajuwon tonight. He's averaging 36 in the playoffs. Buck Williams up off Portland's bench. Porter for three. Dudley tipped it to Strickland, who's hammered on the play.
So you can tell that Rod Strickland played a lot of schoolyard basketball because he got hung in the air and he did everything within his power to be able to draw the foul. A lot of guys would have quick shot that ball and got it blocked. But he hung up there until the big guys committed and went with him, and then just threw himself in there to get the foul. That was a nice play.
That's the 5th personal foul now on Otis Thorpe, but we still have a lot of time left. 4:08 left to be played. Strickland 6 of 6 from the line. He has 18 points in the ballgame. Check that, 20 points. 21. Coming up next, Fred Hickman, Mike Glenn. On scores and highlights from tonight's action and a preview of the weekend's games. All coming up next on Inside the NBA right here on TNT.
Now, Portland's got one foul to give still. They're 3, and Houston is over the limit. So Portland can be very aggressive here in this last 2 minutes with one foul to give before they go into the penalty.
9-point advantage. 3:58 left to be played in this 4th game between the Rockets and the Blazers. Smith launches a 2. Doesn't get it. Strickland taps it.
Another offensive rebound.
Strickland did everything he could, Doug.
See, now you got Akeem being played by Cliff Robinson. You need Robinson there for offense, but now you're going to have to double team Akeem, which will open up that right there, that 3-point shot.
And he doesn't get him. Olajuwon, the putback.
Got to put your body on Olajuwon. 2 straight offensive rebounds there and a stick back. This is where you miss Dudley, but he doesn't score, so you can't have him on the floor when you're behind.
24 points, 15 rebounds. Porter, no place to go, almost throws it away. Shot clock at 10. The fall away by, Buck Williams hits the shot, draws the foul.
They got to stop trading baskets, though, right now. They're still down 9. If Buck can get this to go, it's an 8-point game. Really no place to go with their shot clock winding down. And the last moment, Buck Williams takes the fadeaway jump shot. Not his shot, but it is when it goes in.
He's a career 55% shooter from the field. He's shooting 74% from the floor coming into tonight's game in the playoffs. Buck Williams 3 of 4 from the stripe tonight. He has 11 points, and as Doug mentioned, the lead is 8. A lot of time left.
This is where championship teams earn their medal. Under pressure on the road.
Maxwell. Well, he looked at the 3. Takes it inside. Off the backboard. Williams with the rebound. His 10.
You got to get back. You don't want to foul in the backcourt. You got to get back and not give up an easy basket.
Porter. He's got it. His first field goal of the game.
It's the closest Portland has been since the first period. And again, the ejection of Sam Cassell could be very, very costly.
A few years ago, Portland would say in the last 5 minutes, this is our time. They knew they would win the game because they were so mentally tough. Now let's see if this team can duplicate that. Whistle and a foul, and we have a timeout. With 2:27 left, the lead is down to 6. Houston has led by as many as 21. They led by 15 in intermissions, 6 at the end of the 3rd quarter, and now the lead is back down to 6, 86-80. Neither team has a foul to give, but it is a case of the Portland backcourt, the combination of Strickland and Drexler really coming alive here in the second half.
Well, they've scored 45 of the 80 points for the game, 31 in the second half. Half Portland, Strickland has 14 points, 5 assists. Drexler 17 points and 7 rebounds. And ironically enough, when you look at Portland, Drexler's been the leading rebounder in this series, averaging almost 10 rebounds a game. But these are important free throws here for Olajuwon. He needs to make both of these to give his team an 8-point lead. More importantly, try to calm this crowd down a little bit. They sense an opportunity for Portland maybe to steal this game.
He is 3 of 4 from the stripe tonight. 25 points for Olajuwon. 30 for 39 during the playoffs. The lead is 7, nearing the 2-minute mark.
Now they'll go to probably their 2-side screen roll with Drexler and Robinson rolling out. Drexler taking it to the basket.
Akeem, his former teammate, blocks it, but the Blazers retain possession, and they get a new 24 shot clock.
Did that ball hit the rim?
I don't think it did.
I don't think they should get a new clock. Let's see if this ball hit the rim. That ball didn't hit the rim. We'll get a new clock.
Now change possession. Then Billy Oakes catches it. He heard you and said, hey, Doug said, we've got to take some time off.
9 seconds.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
It should be 15 seconds because they shot the free throw at 2:26.
They're going to put it at 9.
Excuse me. It was 2:27, so that was 2:11:16, so it should actually be 8.
Yeah. Strickland to Williams. Oh, my, over Elijah Wine.
5 points. Remember, it was 6 points at the end of 3.
It is incredibly loud here tonight.
Cliff Robinson going to try to play Elijah screen roll. He'll roll out.
There's the roll. Elijah doesn't get it. Williams with the rebound. His 12th. Rick Adelman saying, roll the ball, move it. Drexler, ill-advised shot. Doesn't get it.
That's what I talked about getting excited. You know, Drexler has felt that he's had a big second half.
But you have to use a touch of common sense in this portion of the game. He's a great player, but patience.
Well, you'd like to get something going to the basket if you could. Now, Kenny Smith's got to penetrate. Shot clock winding down. He's going to penetrate against...
Gives it up to Thorpe, doesn't get it. They'll have another chance.
Got to get back. You don't want to foul in the back court. Make them score to beat you.
Drexler to Robinson. Porter for 3. Buries it.
Now, they don't have to foul, Ron. It's just a 2-point game. They're going to get 2 possessions to 1 here. They've got to get the ball across half court. They better get it up. They better get it up.
He just barely got it.
1 second. Oh, my goodness.
10 to shoot.
Oh, it's a foul.
Oh, my goodness.
Goodness gracious.
They have been wrestling all night underneath. Unbelievable. I'm surprised at the call. I'll be very honest. They've had some wrestling matches underneath.
Rick Adelman doesn't like it either. Now, this is where being over the penalty really hurts you. Now, Elijah, if he makes 2, it's a 2-possession game. Still 40 seconds to go. So if you're Portland, you don't need a 3. You don't need it. You can get something going to the basket quickly. You got 2 for 1. So you don't need a 3 unless it absolutely presents itself.
Hakeem has missed only 1 of 6 from the stripe tonight.
I tell you what, I've been very impressed with Portland tonight, though, their tenacity. And this crowd was completely out of it. They were down 20, and they have fought back. And they've done it not with great shooting, but with heart and determination. And Hakeem right now is fatigued, and he is worn out. Those are 2 big free throws. Make it a 2-possession game. Portland will now take a timeout.
Portland calls a timeout. We have 40.9 left to be played. The lead is 4. Shooting only 34% of the game, but they trail by only 4. They cut it to 2 on this 3 by Terry Porter.
Well, there's the dunks by Buck Williams, and we're going to follow it up, I think, with the 3 from Porter. Here it goes into the corner off penetration. Only Porter's second field goal of the night. He's 2 for 9, and then the controversial foul. Arm wrestling with Cliff Robinson and Elijah in the post. The arm in the back. There's the foul. Portland doesn't like it. Hakeem goes to the line. He makes 2 free throws. We have a 4-point game. More importantly, as we look, Blazers have no full timeouts, so they can get a 20. They can stop it, but they can't advance the ball now. So very important now with your strategy, knowing that even if you do stop them, you can't advance the basketball.
I'm surprised they didn't take the 20 instead of the full this last time out. Cliff Robinson scoreless this half. 3 of 15 for the game.
Now see, they don't need a 3 here. It's a 2-possession game. That's smart. Get something going to the basket.
Strickland is hurt. Strickland is in pain on the floor.
Now remember, Rod has had, what did he have, a broken thumb or something last year? Didn't he have all kind of hand problems 2 years ago?
And he is still down.
Now remember the rule. if Strickland can't shoot these free throws, Rudy T chooses the shooter off the Portland bench, which would be Dudley. So I'm sure that now they use their 20. So now they're out of everything. So that's the importance of being able to hold on to that timeout.
And what's bad is, in Strickland's 22 points, he's 8 for 8 from the line.
Let's hope that there's nothing seriously wrong with Rod Strickland here. He looks to be in serious pain. Mike Szymanski, the trainer from Portland, talking to him. It's his left knee, it looks like.
Let's take a look, see if we can see what happens.
I hate to see this, Ron. You look at it, because I blew my knee out. So you tell me what happens. I can't watch.
Well, he goes up strong to the hole, and he did a split. He did a split, and his right knee and his left knee bent the way they're not supposed to bend. And now they're going to extend the timeout.
I can't watch it. I tore my knee out. Those things bring back too many memories for me.
Rod Strickland, who worked so hard in the offseason, has meant so much to his team that he was voted the team MVP this year. Finished number 6 in the NBA in assists, the 3rd highest in Portland history. He is up and he is walking gingerly. They're going to take it very easy right now. But let's see if it's like John Starks. Starks hurt his knee in the Atlanta game, came back, finished out the game, then they find out he needed surgery.
Well, let's hope that's not the case now. Again, the importance here of Rod Strickland, we're going to see him on the penetration.
Does the splits, and his left leg and right leg just gave out from underneath him.
Let's talk strategy a little bit here. If Rod Strickland shoots the free throws, if he makes them both, it's a 2-point game. 36 seconds to go. 12-second differential, so you don't have to foul. Because what you still have 12 seconds to advance the ball up the floor. If he makes one, you still don't have to foul. If he makes two, you probably got to give a foul. All right, so that's basically where we're at right now.
Alberta Maxwell just came up, Doug, and shook Rod Strickland's hand to make sure that he realized it was not an intentional foul. But here's Rodney. He's 8 of 8 from the line. What composure.
See, now, normally in a situation, if Rod Strickland was really badly hurt after he made these free throws, you'd give a foul to get him out of the game. Right. But you can't do that now in this situation because now you'd put them on the line. So Rod's just going to have to suck it up these last 36.7 seconds.
Well, there's no more games left. Houston will call a timeout as the lead is now down to 2, Doug.
Well, this gives them an opportunity to substitute for Strickland if they want to now.
With 36.7 seconds remaining, this could be the Blazers' end of their 1994 season. They trail by 2, but Doug, you look at the shooting percentage here in the 4th quarter, you wonder, first of all, how the heck are the Blazers only 2 points down?
Well, the Rockets have shot 39%, the Blazers only 33%, Portland 8 for 8 from the foul line, and Houston very good at 6 for 7. So now you're talking about, first of all, Houston must get the ball inbounds. All right, now they get the ball inbounds. They want to spread the floor. They want to use some clock. Portland out of timeouts. The important thing for Houston is if they miss, when they get back, that they cover out to that 3-point line so they don't let a 3-point shot beat them.
There you see our game summary. Olajuwon, who is guarded by Chris Dudley. Out of those points, 11 are in the second half.
If they go screen roll once again with Olajuwon and Maxwell and let Olajuwon roll out, maybe look for the jumper, they're just going to straight post him up.
Now Robinson wrestling again with Olajuwon. The dream, no place to go, shot clock at 7.
Give it back to him. You got to give it back to him.
The spin, the shot, no, rebound. Robinson has it stolen away.
Oh my
Buck
goodness.
Williams was out of bounds when he caught the basketball. Oh my. Houston has the ball with 11.3 left. The shot clock is off.
All right, now you got to get the ball in bounds to a good free throw shooter. So Kenny Smith is an 87% free throw shooter. If you're Portland, you can't let him catch the basketball. Make Thorpe get it.
Oh, the Blazers had the rebound. It went out of bounds and hit Buck Williams, who is standing out of bounds.
You can't let Kenny Smith get the ball.
They try to get it to Smith, get it up to Thorpe.
Oh, they should have fouled Thorpe. Now they let Smith get it back. You can't let him get the ball back. He's their best free throw shooter.
He's 10th in the NBA in that department. Oh, my goodness. Smith's first free throws tonight, 87% on the regular season. In the playoffs, he's 8 of 10.
Well, he needs one of these for sure. And then if you're Houston, you have to decide whether or not you want to take a foul as they advance the ball up the floor and not let a three-pointer get off the tie. If he makes them both, it probably doesn't matter.
Now Tracy Murray, the three-point shooter for the Portland Trail Blazers, #1 in the NBA this year in that category, comes in. They take out Buck Williams. They don't need rebounding now, they need scoring. Williams, before the game, was practicing, or Murray, before the game, was practicing half-court shots and hit about 3 out of every 5.
And if he makes this shot, he takes the three-point shot out of the game, so this is very important.
And he does just that.
That's why you can't let him get the ball in his hands.
Denny Smith, ice in the veins. Strickland's going to have to do something. Takes it to the hole stronger with 5.5.
Get it in. Get it into Kenny Smith if you can.
And Otis Thorpe has to call a timeout. So Portland is not dead yet. Don't throw any dirt on the coffin. It's a 2-point game. 5.5 left to be played.
Rockets lead by 2, 5.5 seconds to go. And here's the critical play. Elijah, and we're going to stop right here. Watch these two guys. The shot's going to go up. And watch these two guys arm wrestle, Thorpe and Buck Williams. We stop it right there. He's out of bounds, and the ball is going to hit him in the foot, out of bounds. Just gets the ball back. Kenny Smith makes 2 free throws to give it a 4-point game. But I hate to see a team like Houston just give up such a quick 2 points. Make them use more time. If they steal the ball, they can still go length of the floor and tie this up. So Houston must still get the ball in bounds.
Let's see if we have our token delay of game call. Otis Thorpe triggering the inbounds pass.
Nothing to half court. You got to throw it down the sideline.
Olajuwon is fouled quickly right in front of our table. Hakeem, 9 of Houston's last 11 points. He has hit 5 of 7 free throws. Murray back into the lineup. Dudley will sit down. We still have 4.2 left. Doug, you and I have seen stranger things happen.
I saw in this building 7 points scored in 2.7 seconds. Chambers got a 3-point play for Phoenix. Robinson hit an outside shot for 2, and Barkley hit a shot at the buzzer. There was actually 0.5, 7 points scored in 2.7 seconds. So don't go away.
They've got a chance.
And remember, no timeout, so they got to rush it up the length of the floor.
You saw Adelman going push it.
Whatever you do, you don't let Strickland get the ball if you miss it. You keep the ball out of his hands. You can't let him get a 3 off. I'd foul right now. He's going to let him get a 3.
The 3 on the way for the tie. Oh, my. Hits the front of the rim. And the Houston Rockets advance to round number 2 against Phoenix. The final 92-89. The second time these two teams have played in the playoffs. And the second time the Rockets walk out with a 3-1 victory. And it was a hard-earned win. To Memorial Coliseum in Portland, a sellout crowd of nearly 13,000 on hand as the score has now been tied up at 4 apiece. We have played 3 minutes along with Doug Collins. I'm Ron Thulin. Portland cold from the outside. We've had a couple of blocks, a couple of turnovers. Kenny Smith, his first 2, and the Rockets lead at 6-2.
Ron, I think what we've seen here early in this game is that the Rockets have gotten back their defensive intensity after giving up 118 points in Game 3 and 54% field goal shooting. Starting to play like we've seen the Rockets play all season long with their defense rebounding.
Now Portland started out cold. Doug, 1 of 8 from the floor so far tonight. Houston looking to wrap up this series. They lead it 2 games to 1. Olajuwon misses.
They'd like to see Dudley be able to single cover him, stay out of foul trouble. They don't want to double team.
Clifford Robinson with his 4th point this evening. Portland is 0-5 in series in which they've trailed 2 games to 1. And on the other side of the coin, the Rockets trying to snap a 6-game playoff losing streak on the road.
I think you're going to see more of a Rocket tempo tonight. They've been lulled into running to this team. At home, they scored 114 points in both games. The other night, they give up 118. I look for it to be in the high 90s, maybe low hundreds tonight.
Dudley already with 1 personal foul. In Game 3, he leaned on Olajuwon all the time. Shot clock violation. Ball belongs to the Blazers as they go the other way. Rudy Tomjanovich in his 3rd year. A couple of Midwest Division titles. 2 50-plus win seasons. Houston has turned the ball over 4 times already. And Doug, in Game 3, for the first time in 7 meetings this year, the Blazers were able to crack the 50% field goal percentage mark on these Rockets. How did they do it?
Well, they did it because of the offensive rebounds, the transition baskets, and the fact that no one could contain Rod Strickland's penetration. 25 points of that, but more importantly, 15 assists with his hands and 55 points. Tonight, they've got to contain him, force the Blazers to be a perimeter jump shooting team. Right there, they must make them shoot the 17 to 18-foot shot. That's not their strength. Their strength is slashing, cutting, and offensive rebounding.
They are 21st, the Blazers are in field goal percentage.
Again, here's a single coverage. Dudley on Elijah Wan. Hakeem with 46 in Game 2, but they feel like this team is more comfortable not double teaming. They'd like to limit the amount of open three-pointers they can get tonight.
Robinson is mugged underneath. Elijah Wan whistled for his first personal foul. Now, one thing Rudy Tomjanovich did is after Game 3, he talked to his team as we look at Hakeem underneath.
Hakeem with a low post, you're going to see they're going to try to give him space. He comes across with that little jump back, almost impossible to block jump shot unless you're coming from behind. And if Chris Dudley will make him take those kind of shots, maybe he can lower his percentage, but they'd really like to wear him down. Ron, they don't want to double team. They don't want him to get 50, but at the same time, they'd like to wear him down. Maybe have it be a close game in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Maybe Hakeem will miss some of those shots because he's tired.
Well, after that Game 3 victory by the Blazers, Rudy T was talking to his coach. He said, why did we lose this game? And he wanted to make sure they understood it was a defensive breakdown. He called it the worst defensive performance this year, as did a lot of the players. Horry from the outside, he has been extremely effective during this playoff series. Horry averaging better than 15 points a game, 6 more than his regular season average of 9.
They're shooting 5 for 10 from 3, shooting 62% in the series, so playing exceptional basketball. They're going to give him the shot because that's who they'll double team off if they have to go help.
Shot clock at 5. Drexler, the one-handed push shot won't go. Dudley not in the position for the rebound. A lot better job so far on Strickland.
Well, they're keeping him in front of him. That's what you have to do, Ron. You can't let him get into the lane. Because now what he does is he forces your shot blocker to come over. Now he drops the ball off to other people, and you get layups and dunks. That's a tough shot by Cliff Robinson.
Only he and Drexler were the only 2 within 30 feet. Portland now 2 of 12.
And you hear the fans booing. That's not the kind of shot. They don't want quick shots. They want patience and ball movement.
Whistle and a foul, and if that is on Dudley, that is not what Portland wants. We have a timeout with 5:59 left in the first. Cattleman face is that if Chris Dudley picked up 2 quick fouls, and that is exactly what happened, and that changes the entire strategy for the Portland Trailblazers. Huh?
Well, Hakeem has said really Dudley's the only guy that can really bother his shot, so now he must probably sit down. But they wanted to wear Hakeem down, make him work for every shot. No easy baskets in transition. The other night, no points off turnovers by Houston, and they'd like to limit the open looks they've got on 3-point shots. In this series, 25 for 54. 46% three-point shooting for the Rockets. And now Rudy Tomjanovich regained their defensive identity. I think they've done a pretty good job of that in the first quarter. They got to find some answers for Strickland's penetration. They've done a pretty good job there and control the defensive boards. Houston is the worst offensive rebounding team in the NBA. Portland, one of the better offensive rebounding teams.
Well, Mark Bryan, Doug, has to come in for Chris Dudley. You saw the shooting percentage there. Cliff Robinson, all 6 of the Blazer points. The rest of the team has an 0 for going, 0 for 6. Go down low to Thorpe. He's bottomed up by Williams. Thorpe, nice move inside. He has his 4th.
We already see right now Mark Bryan in the game. He'll play Elijah on. That'll probably force them to double team. Keep an eye now. Will that trigger their 3-point shooting? We'll have to watch to see the Blazer defense.
They also want to keep Hakeem Olajuwon occupied when he's playing defense. Bryan, in fact, just went through the lane and tried to put a forearm on him. Bad pass leads to a break.
Here's those no easy baskets. That's just what they talked about. Turnover and score. The other night, again, no points off turnovers. Tonight, you already seen a couple where they've run out and got some fast breaks. Maxwell, you want to make him earn every shot. He's not a high percentage shooter because he shoots so many threes.
Portland had only 6 turnovers in game number 3.
I think Cliff Robinson's taken 7 shots already here tonight in his first quarter.
Shots blocked. Bryan has it. Here comes Strickland, but it's a 2-on-3. To Robinson inside. Drexler, touch pass. That'll be a 3-second. Good call, though. Hakeem Olajuwon, who had over 125 steals this year.
Well, Drexler got in the air, and Maxwell ran him off that shot, and he just tried to, instead of taking the shot, pass it in the air. And when you leave your feet, you must be a shooter. Normally, you get in the air like that, it's going to be problems.
Rockets with an 8-point advantage here in quarter number 1. Add 2 more to that as Robert Horry now with 4. This is what happened in games 1 and 2 down in Houston.
Well, you got to remember now, the Rockets are shooting 53% in the playoffs basically against this team, so they're getting a lot of high percentage shots.
Houston on an 8-0 run, and they could make it 10. Houston won the first 2 games with good defense and hot shooting. That is a 3. Kenny Smith, who is number 8 in three-point percentage during the regular season, hits his first, and a 20 has been called.
I think the message has been sent that the Rockets are playing defense tonight. They've played 7 times this year. 6 times the Rockets have held Portland underneath 50% shooting. They've won all 6 of those games. The one game they have won, they gave up over 50%. That was in game 3. So this is a team that they pride themselves on defensive, rebounding, and then getting out and running and shooting the three-point shot. Portland 2 for 14 here in the first quarter, 14%.
We welcome you to Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon for Game 4 between the Rockets and the Blazers, with the Rockets leading the best-of-5 series 2-1. We are in the first quarter with 4:09 left to be played, and the Rockets lead it by 13 along with Doug Collins. I'm Ron Thulin.
You know, Ron, in Game 3 the other night, 4 Blazers had 9 or more field goals in the game. Tonight, Cliff Robinson's 2 for 7. Everybody else in 0 for Strickland 0 for 4. Drexler 0 for 2.
Williams who had the big game in game number 3. Fans wanted an offensive goaltending, didn't get it. We have a Houston foul. That'll be number 2 on Horry. 13th foul here in the first quarter.
What I really give Robert Horry a lot of credit. This was a young man who was traded basically to Detroit. The trade fell through for Sean Elliott. He came back really with more purpose. Thought he got the shot block called for the foul, but came back with more purpose and focus with the idea, I'm going to show you that you made a mistake thinking about trading me. So he's channeled the energy in all the right way, and it's been a major part of this team. Played exceptionally well in the playoffs.
Well, Matt Bullard, who's played only 6 minutes in this playoff series so far, 2 of the 3 games, because the matchups, quite frankly, just haven't been there. He has had to check into the lineup.
Now beware now. Let's see if they go into Olajuwon. We've not seen him touch the ball with Mark Bryant playing him. If so, they'll probably double team, maybe free Bullard up for a 3. Still no double team. Mark Bryant cannot challenge his shot. Hakeem will shoot it without any fear of the shot being blocked. 14-point Rocket advantage. Hakeem 6 and 5 already tonight. 6 points, 5 rebounds. Strickland with penetration, no place to go, got up in the air. Here comes Smith, another fast break. Boy, Doug, how about 180 degrees in game 3? Portland, despite the big energy in the building, very lethargic. They trail it by a lot. If you're going to...
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Rockets lead by 16 on the strength of their defense. I'm going to show you something here now in this replay. We stop it right here. Now, Strickland has the jump shot, but he's 0 for 4 here, so he decides I'm going to pass it up. We're going to see, we'll freeze it one more time here, and look at this defense. What happens? You get in the air, no place to go. He drops the ball off to Maxwell, who throws it to Kenny Smith. That's 4 turnovers now that has led to 8 points. Remember, no easy baskets is what the Rockets wanted to give, or excuse me, that Portland wanted to give up. They've already given up 8 points now, and here's the identity. It's back. You've seen what they've done in the playoffs. They've given up 109, 48% shooting. More importantly, only 11 turnovers forced. Already 4 in this quarter for 8 points.
Porter and Harvey Grant have checked into the Blazer lineup. Harvey Grant loses the handle, wanted the foul, didn't get it, but once again he was surrounded by 2 red jerseys.
When teams are playing good defense, it's almost like there's 6 players out on the floor. Right now, Portland will beat somebody, and they run right into someone else defensively. Cliff Robinson's taken 8 shots in this first quarter. He's 2 for 8.
And the Blazers are 2 for 17. This is the team that came out hot in game number 3 as Buck Williams even hit his first 9 shots of the ball game.
Well, Kenny Smith is very aggressive going to the basket.
Thorpe has it knocked away by Drexler. Here come the Blazers. Rick Adelman and Buck Williams challenged this team's mental toughness prior to Game 3.
Portland has a tendency when they get behind to take quick shots. Let's see if they continue to use patience.
Porter inside. No, Olajuwon gets a piece of it. Bryant,
2 for 20. Pull up and shoot a 3. You better cover him.
There it is, way off the mark. The Blazers 6 minutes without a field goal.
You got to move the ball and take your time. Plenty of time. They're forcing shots. A terrible shot by Cliff Robinson.
Grant finally draws the whistle and the foul. I think some players don't realize there's no such thing as a 16-point play. One shot's not going to get you back into it.
There's 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. We're looking at 38 more minutes in this game. And again, Robinson's already taken 9 shots. He's 2 for 9. And if Portland has always had a tendency to do things, it's they get very quick with their offense. And instead of making the other team play defense for 24 seconds, they continue to take quick shots. And now the team runs out and gets easy opportunities in the open court. So they've got to have patience. 38 more minutes to go.
That's the first 2 points for Portland's backcourt this evening. Portland 2 of 21, Robinson 2 of 9, the rest of the team at 0 for 12.
If they will go inside to Olajuwon, they'll get the double team and they'll get the clean look by either Bullard or Maxwell for 3. That's a bad shot.
Ball away, doesn't get it.
See, Rudy T does not like that because they have the advantage right now. Make him play defensively.
Mark Bryant, his first 2 of the ball game. The lead is 12. One thing that Houston does allow you to do at times is get you back in, allow you to get back into a basketball game.
Well, they'll launch up quick shots. Maxwell's got a quick trigger. You got to make this team play some defense. Let Olajuwon get some touches. There's no one that can guard him. They went 3 possessions without him touching the ball. They go back to their meal ticket and they get a point-blank 10-foot shot.
Oh, Akeem told us after Game 2, you have to respect the post, and he felt that Portland wasn't doing that by playing him straight up. Portland, a corner for 3, doesn't get it. He had 4 threes in game number 1 that kept him close in the first half. Since that time, though, Terry Porter's only hit 1 for 3-pointer.
See, Ron, on the season, Portland gives up almost 105 points a game, which is 18th in the league. Now, there's the double team on Olajuwon, but he's going to. They can't stop him around the basket. That's why getting Dudley in foul trouble was so important for this Rocket team. Olajuwon does not respect the defense of any of these other players.
Already 10 points for Akeem Olajuwon. Some of the Blazers were worried that Akeem had that extra day off. They've had 2 days of rest since the last game. Porter for 3. Grant, the high archer off the front of the rim. There's a lid on the basket, and they throw it away.
No place to go there by Otis Thorpe. Just hold the ball.
Well, you have to respect the post. Here's Akeem.
Well, you see him with the effort. A double team. He muscles it up. Doesn't get it. Goes back and gets the score.
Sam Cassell is checked into the lineup for the Houston Rockets. The rookie out of Florida State wearing jersey number 10. Also coming in, Carl Herrera, the 3rd-year pro out of the University of Houston. He wears number 7.
Going to run screen roll here with Drexler. Porter coming off a staggered double on the other side.
Less than 10 in the first quarter. Drexler over Maxwell.
That's a tough shot.
Clyde is 1 for 3. The first field goal by the backcourt of Portland. But the lead is 14. Well, they threw the ball away. They didn't want the interception, but they've played 12 minutes of play in the first quarter. Big quarter for Akeem Olajuwon. 10 points, 6 rebounds. The Rockets lead it by 14. Some of the beautiful scenery surrounding Portland, Oregon. A beautiful day today. Highs in
Screen roll, and here comes Maxwell. And we're going to watch how this sets everything up. It's going to put Portland in it. We stop it right here. Look, these 2 players out of the play. We stop it right there. He's wide open. He's not sure where he's going. Who's he playing and who's he playing? And the best player on the floor is wide open right in the guts of your defense. And he turns and scores. 4 for 26 for Portland here in the first quarter. They trail 27-13, but still plenty time if they'll show patience and make the Rockets play defense for more than 5 or 6 seconds at a time.
James Robinson with the basketball for the Blazers. The rookie takes it to the hole strongly and gets his first 2.
See, Houston has to be very careful right now. They've gone to their bench, and Cassell and Herrera and Bullard must maintain the defensive intensity that was shown by the starting 5. Right now, a 12-point lead And those players must step it up defensively. Those are two of the guys that they count on, or three of the players they count on coming in off the bench.
Well, that 13 points in that first quarter by the Blazers ties their all-time playoff low for points in a quarter. Mark Bryant whistled for the personal foul. That is his first personal, so the center's already with 3 fouls for the Blazers.
Well, this Houston team that's on the floor right now, you figure Otisdorf will post and Maxwell three-point shooting. Other than that, not a lot of great offense out there. Here's Maxwell. He's one of the guys that can score.
Herrera back to Cassell. Good defense, Robinson. Porter has Robinson on the left. Takes it himself.
Got to drop that ball off. 2-on-1, and Terry Porter tried to take the play himself.
Cassell goes.
Oh, what a great play. What a great shot by Sam Cassell. Showed it with his right, brought it back off the wrong foot, and shoots it with his left hand. 3-point play opportunity, and it's a guy right here that Rudy's very high on. But watch him show it with his right hand right there, and then bring it back off the wrong foot, kiss it off the glass. And Rudy T very high on Sam Cassell. Plays him in crunch times of the game. He had a big game, too. 9 points, 9 assists off the bench.
Hakeem comes back in, and Mario Ellie also comes in. And when you look at Sam Cassell, Doug, I know everybody's drawing a comparison, and you think so too. Young Sedale Free?
Yeah, he's got the same mannerisms as Sedale. Loves to go left to shoot his jump shot, and looks like he's patterned a lot of his game after him. But I think Olajuwon back in. Rudy T saying we do not want to let Portland back into this game. We want to keep our offense on the floor.
Well, Bullard picks up his second personal foul. Rudy Tomjanovich, 24 years with the Rocket organization as a player, as an assistant coach, a scout, now head coach. Done a fantastic job with this club.
What a tough shot by Harvey Grant. Ran off that play by Olajuwon. Olajuwon is everywhere here in this first few minutes.
Hershey, who didn't even play in game number 3, has his first 2.
Now, one of the reasons why Portland shot a great percentage in game 3, we talked about before. Olajuwon had 6 blocks in game 1, 6 in game 2, and numerous alterations. The other night, because of being occupied by Dudley with the body, only 1 block shot. That was a real key for them to win that game. Strickland, no one bothered him when he took it to the basket.
They put a lot of bodies on him, too, with Strickland taking to the basket. They were almost like picking him while Rod was making his move.
See, this will open up the 3-point shooting.
Ellie has his pocket pick. Here comes Porter to the trailer. Mark Bryant, the finger roll won't go. Inside, Kersey has a strip. They're letting them play tonight. Ellie from the arc. Count the basket.
That's a big shot for Mario Ellie. Starts just getting his timing back after coming back with a broken hand. He's now 3 for 3 in this series from the 3-point line.
Fractured that hand on March 29th at Sacramento. The playoff action is the first he's seen court time since then. Kersey gets Olajuwon up. He distracted the shot, but Kersey comes up with it.
You notice how they're running away from the jump shot and taking it into Olajuwon, and he's just sending everything back or bothering all their shots.
That'll be a trip. We've got a whistle and a timeout. With 9:31 to be played in the second, the Rockets lead it by 16. 33-17 with just over 9.5 left in the first half.
Well, you see the great strip here by Terry Porter, but this has sort of been the story all night long. Not able to finish. You see Olajuwon going to get out of the way, and this is where the fans got upset. Jerome Kersey with a nice hustle. They thought he was fouled. No call. So Portland trails 33-17, and we've had an even distribution here. Starters are 3 for 18, and the bench is 3 for 15. So 6 for 33 if my math serves me well. Wow, that's a bad shot. I'm sorry.
Loose ball foul. That's going to be called on Tracy Murray, who's checked into the lineup. Played only 6 minutes in game 1. How about this, Doug? Matt Bullard gets his 3rd personal foul. Now number 21, Chris Gent checks into the lineup. This is a young man that was 9th in the CBA in scoring. He's out of Ohio State, played a couple of years in the CBA. They pick him up on April the 19th to sort of fill the gap for Mario Ellie. Now the guy gets his first NBA action. It's a playoff game.
Well, look at Rudy. Look who Rudy T's got on the floor right now. Cassell, Herrera, Ellie, Gent, and Olajuwon. So basically 4 bench players and Hakeem. Let's see if Gent can bust loose for a 3 here. He doesn't look like he wants to take it, but they're going to build a house around Hakeem.
That's all you need. You don't need to shoot it. Just dump it to the big guy, let him turn around, because he doesn't dribble at that point. All he does is turn around and shoot. He's 6 for 8.
But notice the difference in patience for the Rockets. Gent passed that shot up and went back into Olajuwon. Portland, the first guy catching and shooting it.
That's exactly what Rick Alamo was afraid would happen. Count the basket. draws the whistle. Well, after game one, Rudy Tomjanovich talked to Akeem Olajuwon about patience offensively.
Well, this was the third pass, and this is good penetration into the heart of the defense by Kersey. But, Ron, you look at the perimeter shooting. Strickland is 0 for 4. Drexler 1 for 3. Porter 0 for 5. So your big perimeter threats are a combined 1 for 12 here now to start this game.
Correction, the foul is on number 7, Carl Herrera.
And fouls on Carl Herrera. At first they said it was on Mario Elie. Elie still without a personal foul. And at the 8:35 mark in the second, there's a 16-point Houston advantage. Jed's going to launch it. Doesn't get it. It's Jed's first NBA shot. But he is a very promising young man. Murray, number 1 in the NBA in three-point percentage, gets his first 2.
Now, see, here's a guy that can heat it up for you, so you must be aware where he's at all the time. You cannot lead him. You got to tag him and do not let him get those shots off. Make him put the ball on the floor.
He is 3 for 3 in the playoffs. His first 2 coming in game 1 is only action prior till tonight.
There's Olajuwon again in the low post. He's now being guarded by Buck Williams, who'll try to body him.
Jed looks for the cutting Mario Elie. No place to go. Shot clock at 1. Akeem didn't see it. A violation. That is reminiscent, Doug, of the old Blazer teams that would take some bad shots and then they'd strangle you on defense for about 5 minutes.
Well, Chris Gent missed a shot before, and he didn't want to take that one. And that's where, even though you have missed, you've got to have the confidence. And the team is looking at him and said, look, Chris, you've got to take that shot. So that's where being inexperienced and coming in and being a little bit worried about missing, hurt his team.
He's not too excited, though.
Oh, I'm sure his heart is jumping right through his chest right now.
And they're telling him to shoot it. Murray, the arc, doesn't get it.
There's Olajuwon.
Strickland back into the ball game. The 7th rebound for Akeem. Cassell, the quick shot. No, the tip. We're going back and forth. Houston keeps it alive.
I said, use some clock, let Akeem get back into the play, and then drop the ball to him in the post.
The block, but we have a whistle, says Ryan Garrison. It is going to be called. I think, is it Tracy Murray?
It's an amazing lineup that Rudy has out on the floor right now. He's come now back in with Robert Horry, but I've never seen this combination of guys that he had, and he still has a 14-point lead, so getting some good rest for Kenny Smith and for Vernon Maxwell and for Otis Thorpe. Congratulations to the New York Knicks. They advance and will meet the Chicago Bulls in round 2, so a matchup that everyone was waiting for will now happen.
Of course, last year, the Knicks went up 2 games to 9 on the Bulls. Only to have it slip away from them.
How about Charles Oakley? Is he playing great or what? That guy has been everywhere. Just watching that game tonight, he's had a sensational series. When Ewing got kicked out of the game, they 25 points and 24 rebounds.
Robinson, no place to go. Patrick's done a tremendous job, too. He was under the weather, though.
Notice how they're sealing off Strickland. Everything's been outside. He's 0 for 5 now from the perimeter. Nothing going to the basket. This is a totally different Rocket team. Everything is in the paint. Absolutely no place to go.
We've got a timeout with 6:54 left in the half. The lead is still 16.
Well, the Rockets lead by 16, and Ron, when you don't shoot the ball well from outside, this is what happens. We're going to show you Rod Strickland start to penetrate. We stop it right here. Look at this. You got him squared up nicely here, but look at all the Rockets, where they are in the paint, so there's absolutely no place for him to go. So as a result, he ends up shooting the outside jump shot, and look now at the nice position here by the Rockets. And although they don't clean up the board, it's still a jump shooting game for Rod Strickland, 0 for 5. Remember now, game 3, he was 11 for 19. He had 25 points, 15 assists, and only 1 turnover.
Portland 3 of 19 from the outside as the Rockets bettering the fast break points. On the lineup for the Rockets, they have Cassell, Herrera, Mario Elie, Robert Horry is checked back in, and Akeem Olajuwon.
Little half-court trap here, 3-quarter trap being shown by the Rockets, by Portland.
Elie strong to the hole, doesn't get the jam. Olajuwon, Robinson grabs his jersey. James, that doesn't help.
Well, this guy is MVP. He's got it written all over him. He's just had a magnificent year, and he's got 14 points, 7 for 9. But more importantly, he's changed every shot around the basket tonight.
Now Rick Allen will go back to his bench as Drexler and Robinson will come back in. Murray, the leader, will go. Loose ball foul. Let's see if it's going to be called on Sam Cassell. There's just no stopping him. Even Robinson tried to grab the shirt, didn't work. Watch.
Well, look how quick he is. Look at this. And it's the floating shot in the lane. I want to tell you what, we watched him before the game come out, and he shot for about 15 to 20 minutes. All on those kind of shots that he's going to get during the course of the game. No surprise that he's 7 for 9, and he's going to be the most valuable player in the league this season.
Well, Portland's key is move the ball and penetrate. They're not doing that tonight. Cassell from 3 doesn't get it. Right into the hands of Ellie, left open for the easy 17, and Mario Ellie already tonight with 7 points. So Portland finds themselves down by the biggest margin so far this evening. It is 20. Houston has effectively taken this crowd right out of this ball game. This is a team, the Portland Trailblazers, that came into this season with a lot of questions about their coach, about the players. There has been bickering, a lot of rumors. Isn't this gut check time now for them?
It's a character check for this team. They're down 20. They've got an opportunity to try to pull together and get back into this game, or individually they can shoot themselves right out of it. We'll see where they're at right now, but this is time right now. If they can get back into this game, maybe get it down to 10 or 12 by halftime, they still got a great chance to win, but they must do it collectively, not individually.
Strickland penetrated. The stop sign came up. Murray gives it up. Robinson has it rejected by Olajuwon. Strickland is being hammered. Finally the whistle. It's going to be called on Sam Cassell, his second.
But you notice, though, the other night, Rod Strickland had great driving lanes to the basket. Tonight, even on that play, he tried to squeeze between 3 guys. Houston has already blocked 6 shots tonight. And in game 3, they only blocked 3. So totally different defensive identity. And that's what Rudy said to his team the other day. It was a horror show. It was embarrassing. It was against everything we've done all season long. If we want to go anywhere in the playoffs, we better get back to who we are. We're not a fast-breaking, quick-shooting offensive team. That's not the strength of who we are.
Well, Rudy says the team's based on 3 things: defense, chemistry, and unity. They're showing all of that this evening.
Olajuwon in the post. If they get the double, still a single coverage.
But Williams at least gets a body at him. And here comes Drexler out of the pack with the rock. Williams beating everybody down court, and he's got it. Nice hustle by Buck Williams, his first field goal of the ball game. He hit 9 of 10 in game 3.
It's a double team. Ori will be at the 3-point line, and Elliott at the 3. So they space it out. They get you running at him. They penetrate and they drive. The spacing on the floor was beautiful. The threat of the 3-point shot. They run at Mario Ellie, penetrate, drop off to Thorpe for the dunk. That's beautiful execution.
It's amazing how far this Houston Rocket team has come. 2 years ago, they were the renegades of the NBA. Now they're a very cohesive unit. Murray, the high archer, won't go. Getting killed on the boards.
Wait for a team to get into play. He's not down here yet. Run your screen roll, get something going to the basket.
Smith goes right around Williams, the clear pass, nice dish. Murray can't track it down. Whistle and a foul, and that will be on Tracy Murray, his second personal. We've got 4:18 until the half at the Portland Coliseum, and it has been all the Houston Rockets as they are trying to put away these Blazers in 4 games.
The benches have been a very important part of this series. 24 points for the Portland bench in the first 3 games, only 16 for the Rockets bench. But interestingly, tonight they both have 10 points. The Houston and the Portland bench. One shooting 3 for 7. Houston, the Portland bench 5 for 20.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Budweiser player of the game, and Budweiser will donate $1,000 in his behalf to the United Negro College Fund. Chris Dudley played only 6 minutes of that first quarter before he picked up his second personal foul.
Changed their whole game plan again. Chris Dudley's only played 6 games this year. So what was to be for this Portland team, no one ever really knows because of the injury factor to Dudley.
And they still managed to win 47 games. That's the first good ball movement we've seen by the Blazers, and they throw it away. Backcourt violation. Houston Rockets with the basketball, and the Boo Birds are coming out. This man has been under the microscope all year by these Blazer fans.
And I think he's done a very good job with this team. With all that's gone on, you look at the different faces. You've got Harvey Grant, you had Dudley with a broken foot. You've got an aging team. Strickland really has become your team leader. Porter now over 30, Drexler over 30. So the guys who led their run 2 years ago to the finals are not the same players they once were. People see the names, they don't realize that they're not the same players.
Well, Thorpe and Porter getting into it underneath. Thorpe just walking away as they got tangled up. Porter trying to get his arm away from him, and Thorpe was whistled for the foul. Will go down the other end to shoot it. But 4 players over 30, though.
Well, if you think of that team that started against the Bulls in the finals, it was you had Buck Williams, you had Jerome Kersey, you had Duckworth, Drexler, and Porter. You now have Strickland, who's the starter, Cliff Robinson, who's the starter, and Dudley. So 3 different guys starting. You had Ainge coming off the bench. Now you've got a Harvey Grant. So it's a totally different team.
The expectations by the fans were very high, but they were unfair expectations when Dudley went down.
Well, the thing about Portland, and you know that, Ron, unlike a lot of cities, as we see the great teams that have played here in Portland, the world champions and the Western Conference champions, this is really the only game in town. So every day, every moment, talk radio 24 hours a day, 12 months a year is the Portland Trailblazers. So it's under such scrutiny here all the time.
The lead is 19 inside of 3:45. It was a 27-13 Rocket lead at the end of 1.
There's that screen roll once again. This time to Thorpe to kick it out. The ball was touched.
Thorpe to Adelman, but it was touched. 10 on the shot clock. Houston already with 2 24-second violations in the ball game.
See, when Thorpe runs that screen roll, you don't have to get to him quickly because he's not a jump shooter.
Olajuwon doesn't get it. He's missed his last 3 shots. Strickland the spin move. Kicks it right out. Nice cover in the passing lane by Vernon Maxwell. He takes it strong to the hole and get the basket. And Maxwell is down. Maxwell with the 2. The foul is on Strickland.
Portland, how many times have we seen tonight them get into the air, passing lane closed down, run off the shot, have no place to go, ball dumped off, steal, we go the other way for a layup. It's at least 5 steals that have led to 10 points. Remember, no points off transition on turnovers in Game 3 after having 20 in Game 1.
You saw Rod Strickland as Maxwell misses the free throw. Strickland having a difficult night tonight. 2 points, 1 assist, 3 turnovers already. And they wanted Strickland in the open court. He's not getting there. Robinson with the first easy basket of the evening for the Blazers. But the lead is still big. It is 19 inside of 3 minutes. Last time, the Portland Trailblazers rallied from an 0-2 deficit in a playoff series. 1977 in the finals against the Philadelphia 76er team led by...
Go ahead and rub it in. That's okay.
Doug Collins. When we walk into the Blazer offices, and there's the picture.
Go ahead and rub it in, Ron.
My partner fries.
Keep grinding.
A little salt.
I won't take it personally.
I won't do that. Rebound Buck Williams. They'll go the other way with it. Trailing by 19. 2:35 left in the half. Strickland almost looks out of control, although he gets the basket. But there's a tendency of Portland, when they get down by a lot, Doug, it turns into 1-on-5 basketballs.
Strickland this time really creates the contact. Watch him as he jumps back and into Kenny Smith. Really no place for him to go, and he's going to get the opportunity for the 3-point play. But watch him jump back and in to Kenny Smith. Kenny's trying to get out of there, can't do it, and he gets the foul. 3-point play opportunity to try to cut this lead to 16 with 2:33 to go.
The Portland Trailblazers have rallied to shoot up to 24% now for the ball game, and they have a hustle board in a lot of NBA arenas which combines block shots, rebound steals. That's usually indicative of the type of game that's being played. Not tonight.
Well, they need missed shots up there, and they don't have missed shots, and that's really been the difference in the game, and the fact that Portland has turned the ball over and Houston has got some easy scores. But, you know, Ron, as I'm going through my notes here, as we talk to the coaches before the game, I see Portland here, and there's a quote from Rick Adelman says, you know, we feel we can defend them. How are we going to be offensively tonight? That's what I'm worried about, and I can see why he's worried, because right now they have not been able to solve the Rockets' defense.
In fact, his line was, I hope we don't shoot ourselves in the foot offensively.
Again, we're not trying to hype this game, but there's still major time left. The Rockets must continue to do what they're doing. If they have any lapses, Portland is very capable of putting together a run. So it's going to be important for Houston to maintain their composure, and more importantly, their defensive effort.
38 is a playoff low for the first half of the Blazers. They're only 7 off that, but there's still time left, 2:23. We saw Houston lead by 15 in game 1, only to have the Blazers come charging back. Maxwell has it rejected by Williams. Nice play, Terry Porter keeping it alive. The lead is 16 to Williams. Goes down hard, no foul. Drexler fights for it. Here come the Rockets with a 3-on-3.
2 minutes in the half.
Maxwell spotting up for the 3.
Smart. Get it in, inside, outside, spot it up for 3, and then you get an offensive rebound that you're called for a foul. But smart. Inside, outside. That's the way you get the three-point shooting.
Otis Thorpe has his second personal foul. Just a reminder, coming up at halftime, it'll be our Reebok halftime report with Ernie Johnson in our studios. He is joined by Detroit Piston guard Joe Dumars. They'll have highlights of Game 4 between the Knicks and the Nets, which the Knicks won, and a recap of the first half of tonight's ball game. And Joe Dumars, one of the classiest gentlemen in the entire NBA.
I want him to understand, no telestrators in those, Joe. You're a player. The telestrators out here, I don't want you thinking about my job, too, so just stay in there and talk to EJ.
Maybe it'll do him some good. Maybe you'll see how difficult it is. Then again, maybe not. Thorpe has to sit down with 2 personal fouls. Carl Herrera comes back in. Rod Strickland 4 of 4 from the line tonight. He has 6 points, and the lead is down to 15.
See, as dominant as Houston has been, if Rod Strickland makes his free throw, which he doesn't, we get an offensive rebound, got a lane violation, I guess, or
on Buck Williams.
Lane violation, but it's a 15-point game, slightly under 2 minutes, 1:53. You're talking about a possible 3-4 possessions here. If the Rockets don't get it done and Portland can come back and maybe score 4, 6, 8 points here in this stretch of time, you're talking about a 10-point lead, which I'm sure would frustrate Rudy T after they've been so dominant.
Portland has 6 straight points. That's their first and best run of the night. Olajuwon dipping and ducking in the dream, shakes it home. He has 16 in the ball game.
You know, he's so quick, and I've always said one of the great things he has is he has short legs for a big guy, so he has really the quickness of a smaller player. A guy's about 6'7".
Drexler inside, and his former teammate at the University of Houston, Hakeem Olajuwon, part of the 3. In the pack to grab him.
And you
Herrera whistled.
Ron, you guard this whirling dervish in the lane. Watch this. He's going to come in. He shakes one way. There's the dream shake. Now he's back, fade away. I think you got to come back and double team that guy, get the ball out of his hands. I saw Charles Barkley the other night with 56, and he was even talking to me about double teaming. So I think you have to limit your best player's opportunity as much as you can. With Chris Dudley out of the game, they got to be very, very careful here not to let the Rockets keep this lead to 17 or 18 by half.
Clyde Drexler averaging 20 during the playoffs, one better than his regular season average. Tonight he has 6, but he's only 1 of 4 from the floor. The lead is 15 with 1:20 left in the half. Herrera all the way. Robinson got a piece of it. Here comes Drexler. He's got Strickland on the left to the hole.
See a little trap up the floor. Got the ball out of Kenny Smith's hands to Herrera. He tries to finish it. He can't. And a fast break for Portland.
And 2 runs for the Blazers. But you go to your meat and potatoes. Maxwell from 3.
See, this crowd's excited now.
This is where Portland shines. The open court. But Rod Strickland's jumper short.
Pull the string on it.
Yep. That's a difficult shot when you're coming. You have to stop. You have no backboard. Smith to the hole. Big time rejection. Drexler.
Now the last 3 plays, Maxwell's had it, or 4 plays. Maxwell's had a shot blocked. Smith a shot blocked. Herrera shot blocked. Olajuwon's touched it 1 time and he scored. Here's the block right here. Go back inside to Hakeem. Let him create something.
There he is.
Let him get a touch. You got 8 seconds on the clock. They got to get it up now.
Smith to Olajuwon.
Better get it up.
Shot with 1. Gets it up as the buzzer goes off. They buy a break. Good job, Kenny Smith. That's a coach killer. Shot clock turned off. Blazers down by 15. They trailed by as many as 21.
Going to spread the floor here. Let Strickland penetrate. Remember, Porter's a 3-point shooter. Drexler shoot a 3. Back off. Make Strickland shoot the jump shot.
Maxwell is on him now. To Buck Williams. Shot clock at 1. Porter lets it go. And not a good shot to end the half. But then again, it wasn't a good half for the Blazers. Hakeem Olajuwon, 16 points. 11 rebounds in the first 24 minutes as Portland shoots only 24%. We're at halftime. 15-point lead. Ernie is next in the studio.